would you recommend doing that or not?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So the question was, a lot of .coms are taken. There's a lot of alternative domain extensions out there. What would you recommend doing? And so I can only answer on an SEO perspective, and the answer is very clear, which is to avoid the cutesy, clever domains at all costs. So a big popular one right now is .io, right? Anything .io, .me is another big one. App codes, the App Store optimization site is at appcod.es. There's a lot of people that are doing this, but you don't want to do it from an SEO perspective. You want to try and stay on .com. And the problem is that Google is still having a very difficult time at understanding country code top-level domains. So if you pick a country code top-level domain, you are biased towards those search results, right? If you pick a .fr, you can start to rank pretty easily in Google FR, right? But a lot of these other ones, there's a lot of work around generating a country-specific link profile, right? So this happened to us at PayPal. All of our international sites at PayPal were on one domain. So it's paypal.com/countrycode. And the problem with that is that when you're at paypal.com/mx, you need to build all of these .mx backlinks into your /mx subfolder. And you need to trigger, right? You need to convince the search engine that that's where your Mexican content sits. So if you're relying on search engines for users, it's really difficult to do that, because when you have a .io, you need to say, this is not a .Indian Ocean site. You need to do all this additional work to convince the search engine that you're in this other country. Now, Lyft probably isn't trying to acquire users through search engines, so maybe they're fine, right? But if you're relying on search engines, I highly, highly, highly recommend going with a .com. There's a lot you need to deal with if you're trying to rank really well. And it's not that straightforward. And you actually notice a lot of people are migrating away from it now. Bitly's actually bitly.com now. Yeah. So yeah, .co is an interesting one. I can't figure out if it's just GoDaddy and all these other people that are heavily invested in it and are trying to get people to buy more domains. A lot of people in the Bay Area do it. I know AngelList is angel.co, right? 500 startups is 500.co. Maybe there could be room for one more, but I don't know. It's the other thing to think about, and this was really interesting. Someone explained this to me in the terms of 800 numbers. Everyone knows 1-800 is toll-free, right? But 1-866 and 1-854 and a couple others are also toll-free. But no one knows that. And the reason why we know 1-800 is toll-free is because we've been pounded with marketing for 15 years. That TV commercial, call toll-free 1-800 da-da-da-da-da. It's the same thing with .com. It's like you have these millions of dollars that have been spent on advertising with other companies that there's like, you can ride off of that if you pick a .com, right? I've had friends that have said, well, like O.co Coliseum as the name, like that's considered one of the biggest like mistakes they've ever done, right? Overstock went to O.co. They named Oakland Coliseum O.co Coliseum, and then they went back to overstock.com because it wasn't working. But I've met so many people that didn't even know you could type O.co into a browser. It's like behaviorally, like not everyone knows, but everyone knows .com. Unquestionable. It's synonymous with the web. So there's probably some things you could do around it. It's way easier to just get a .com and go with it. That's my strategy.